Well, I came here to Berlin 3 years ago with the Salt of Tears, and there was a meeting of women who were interviewing me between the age of 25 and my age. And I was already thinking about this idea of making a film with my 3 children, and I think, how can I go about that? And I was looking for that. And I was looking for a topic, and that was difficult. And so I thought, well, if it were a normal film, it would be, well, they go on a vacation and they spend time in some bungalow talking about their lives. If it's a film made by the left, it would be different. Somebody asked me, for example, and somebody told me, what did your father do? And I said, well, my father was a puppeteer. And then I said, yes, a family of puppeteers, that's it. We really worked for a year on puppeteering, and when the film was being shot, then we were actually made to perform in front of children who came really to see the show. So what I really did, I had the feeling of doing this preparatory work for a year. And what we also tried to do is to really believe in this, to know and really immerse oneself into this trade of making puppets and performing. And that was much more important than acting itself, at least in my work as an actress for this film. My objective was, I want to know how to be a puppeteer, much more than just be an actress preparing for the role of Lena. So yes, it took up a large space and it was very pleasant. Yes, that's true. I love really fully immersing myself into the world of the film director, and in this case I had a beforehand knowledge of this world. That's true, says Philippe Garrel, but it's not the same still as if you were shooting with a film with somebody you don't know at all, who makes you, for example, climb on top of a high mountain. Well, yes, of course. Working with Lena, him, or Louis, I mean, that really does create a certain mood on the scene as well. We're not of the same generation, but we come together and work together. And in order to make this film, we had to be able to talk about and find the language to talk about art, about puppets, about women. In my work, it's very, very important to defend female, strong characters that are not just submissive. So we had to talk about that. I didn't want to do dishwashing, for example, because that is something that I think feeds wrongly into a collective imagery. So Esther, Louis, Philippe, and myself from 4 different generations, how do we engage in that conversation? How do we communicate our relationship to the world, to other people, amongst each other? So I think it has come together. I'm not sure whether freedom is the right concept, but communication certainly is. And if we want to tell a story, we have to come together to tell it. And if we're happy about it, then we have to feel happiness all together. I don't want to defend things or play things on screen that I would not want to have in my own life, and therefore that's very, very important, and that was what was important for me in this film. And I was working with my children, working on a project together with them. They were in the film, and on the other hand, they were playing a troupe of puppeteers who were working a spectacle in a way, who were setting up a show. So this was kind of mirroring each other. This is great. I think I was able to make a film that is very important to me. And in a way, it's also normal to have my children in it together. And at the same time, it's it is not convulsive, if you will, in order to achieve beauty. It is not painful. Sometimes it is painful, but to have this kind of beauty in a film which is drawn from an interior strength, a psychological strength, I'm very, very pleased to have found a way to make a film that has a deeper meaning, just working with my 3 children, and I didn't have to make an additional effort or move myself into a point where I was not. So I'm keeping my bearings, but obviously I continue to shoot in film. This is actually not shot digitally, but on real film celluloid. And then it is copied, so you can do some really wonderful photography, also digital. But what people do not realize is that this, what you see, this is the rest of the celluloid. It's not just copy. There is some of the bath, of the color bath at Kodak. Fuji does not exist anymore. In France, there are very few people who are still shooting on in an analog way, but in Hollywood, many people actually shoot in this way. And I believe that this obviously has a great impact also on the kind of photography that we have with Renato. Certainly, this is something that I think speaks to his great talent. I could not work digitally. I don't have a computer. I'm totally allergic to this kind of technological revolution. What is it called in the States? Where they've invented digital. I'm allergic to everything what the sciences, everything that the scientists in Silicon Valley have invented on their silicon wafers. To me, this is a completely separate world, and I'm a low-tech filmmaker. It was a beautiful premiere. Thank you.